What's good, nephew?
I'm slow motion with the potion trying to get some of them gangster grooves you got.
Oh man, I love
Yeah.
it. I love it when this guy slides through. Malice in Wonderland, huh?
Yes, sir. My
What-
10th solo record, man. I'm so happy that people still want to hear Snoop Dogg and still follow me and respect me and love me. So I had to go back to the studio and make a record to depict that. And you know what I'm saying? I'm really back on my Snoop Dogg shit for real though, loco. Like never before. I used to always say I'm on my Snoop Dogg. No, I'm really on that shit right now. Like
What you mean by that? What does being on your Snoop Dogg shit mean?
feeling good about what I do and what I say and don't have no regrets about it. It was a time where I was so critical, where I was worrying about what people thought. But when I'm on my Snoop Dogg shit, I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm at
Let's
my best.
go.
Exactly.
You was at the New York Stock Exchange for the Mentoring Madness. What's that
Yeah.
all about?
I had to give some youngsters some advice on, business. They felt like I was a great entrepreneur to give them some information and insight on what it is to start a business and how to make it successful and how to brand, your business, because they feel like the Snoop Dogg brand is a business, because that's what it is. It's definitely become a business. When I started off as Snoop Doggy Dogg, you know, it's like I was getting done doggy style, and I didn't even know that. That's why I
Right.
named myself. But I'm like, nah, I gotta cut the doggy out.
Right.
Got rid of the doggy and learned how to just be the dog,
Right.
and learned the business on how to mold and shape this Snoop Dogg image. That's why when you see Snoop Dogg name, or you hear his voice, or you see him somewhere, it smiles.
Mm-hmm.
My name is associated with that's the homie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he
Yeah.
cool.
Big homie,
That's
right,
Uncle
yeah.
Snoop. It ain't never,
Mhm.
oh, that's bitch ass nigga. Fuck him. It ain't never that.
I've never heard anybody say,
Yeah.
that bitch ass nigga Snoop. It's just like, yo, Snoop is the big homie. East, west,
That's the
south,
homie.
it doesn't matter.
Because I'm hands on, baby girl, meaning that even when we had issues with the East Coast, I was the only nigga that was willing to confront the East Coast niggas, whether it was disrespectful or respectful,
Right.
in the way that these niggas out here respected it.
I remember you was on that stage. You said, "Let it be known.
Yeah,
Let it be known."
yeah.
You know.
We need to know. I need to know that you niggas love Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, because I feel like this is my
That
home
was
right
a
here.
motherfucking
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, it was.
But I cut the ice with that moment. I put my life on the line. Nobody knew that my life was on the line, because some nigga from New York could have been like, nigga, fuck you.
No.
Yeah.
You is the head nigga we need to knock off.
Yeah.
No, I think we all knew. I remember I felt like, oh shit, this nigga Snoop is crazy.
Go to YouTube and rewind that. Go check that
Was
out.
there
You
ever
can-
a time where you was in the industry? Because it does get very crazy behind the scenes.
Yeah.
On the camera and off the camera. Was there ever a point where you just felt like, yo, this shit is getting a little bit too out of hand? Did it ever get scary for you where you felt like, let me bow out a little bit? Or
It was never scary, but it was the point where I had to retreat. And that was when Biggie Smalls had got killed. That's when I called Minister Farrakhan, because I didn't think that was right. You know what I'm saying? Biggie Smalls was a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of love for him, and I didn't want the information to be relayed like the West Coast niggas killed him. You know what I'm saying? So when I got with Minister Farrakhan, it's documented that he had all of the rappers and myself come to his house, and we got structure. That's when Fat Joe gained all respect from me, because he had issues with Ice Cube, and he got at Ice Cube like a real motherfucker. A real mother. And he drove out there. That
Wow.
nigga was like, nigga, I don't fly nowhere. I drove out here.
Right.
But I had never really knew Fat Joe like that, but that day was needed. Cam and Ice Cube was beef, and it was just like, it was so much going on. But once Biggie got killed, I called Minister Farrakhan. I said, Minister Farrakhan, I'm not scared, but I know that the vibe is going to be them West Coast niggas did that, and we need to hit Snoop Dogg, because he the next one. He the only one. And he was in the middle of that shit. But he wasn't, because there was a time when I went to Angie Martinez's radio show, and she asked me, when Pac was alive, when we was in New York, how do you feel about Biggie and Puffy? And I told her, them is my homies. I got love for
And
them.
did you get any backlash from
What?
that from the West Coast? Because I remember that.
Not the West Coast. I got backlash from Suge Knight, Tupac, and Death Row. And then was our last days hanging out before he got killed. So we ended on a kind of foul note, because he felt like I didn't stay down with him. In actuality, I did stay down with him, because before I knew Tupac and before I knew Biggie, I was cool with everybody. So once I met Pac, I still was cool with Biggie.
all right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah.
like, do you want me to stop my friendship because of something that you think he did to you? And as a man, every time I see you press up on Biggie, he didn't want it. So
Yeah.
do you want me to jump in and he acting like he don't want it? It don't make no sense for us to double team him, and he don't even want it one-on-one.
Right.
He's acting like he don't want an issue with you. A bigger man would say, okay, I got you. You don't want none. Not constantly driving him, riding him, because the nigga had skills. If he wanted to shoot back some shit, he could have shot back some super gangster shit. I heard the subliminal shit he was shooting.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So at the same time, it's like he was strategic with, I'm not going to start a fire. I'll just shoot a shot here and there. You know, I'm not no punk, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel hip hop would be today if Big and Tupac was here still?
If they were here today and they were on peace, I think hip hop would be a beautiful place to be. But if they were here and they still was on, you know, I don't like you and I can't deal with you, I don't think hip hop would be as far as it is. I don't think it would be as grown as it is and as accepted as it is. One thing about anything you do, sometimes sacrifices have to be made. And it's sad to say that their lives had to be sacrificed for hip hop to become what it is today. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, God took them away for a reason, and he put them here for a reason. They time that they was here and the spirits that they shed on people and the love that they gave through their music should be cherished. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to know both of them cats. I hung out with them both. Hung out with Biggie in New York at the studio. He played the song for me on his record, the one Dreaming of Lear Jets and Mansions and Coupes and trying to sell records like Snoop. Oops.
Right.
He played that record for me before he passed away in the studio, and then he was in the other studio with Premier working on the 10 Crack Commandments. He had 3 rooms popping at one time. I was in there with her smoking that real shit.
We was in BET one time, and I'll never forget this shit. And we in the room, and this is BET. Okay, now so you know we in this was like the loungy dressing room status,
Green room.
and yes, but you know it's a private room though, you know, and I walk in and it's partly cloudy in the motherfucker. Right?
You
So
know
it's
that.
like, you know, I'll go to say what's up to Uncle Snoop, and of course, you know, get past something.
As you should.
You know what I'm saying?
What
And,
other way to say hi than that way? Hi.
you know, so that I'm
Hi.
holding. So,
Hi.
So I'm holding this in my hand, and in walks Stephen Hill.
Wow.
Oh, now
Nice.
he see you with it,
The
not
shut
me.
it down
so
master.
I turn my back on you.
So Snoop turned around, and he looking at me crazy, like, who is this motherfucker smoking up my goddamn
Right.
room?
I turn around and I'm like this.
I mean, but it's expected of you. Like, I would think you'd be able to go on CNN and smoke a L right there on CNN.
You know, I'm gonna be real with you. They want to give me that provision, but at the same time, it's like they have ramifications, but they respect me and all that. So it is what it is, and they know my condition is medical. You know what I'm saying? I don't smoke street weed.
Talk about it. Talk about it. I know you got the card,
Yeah,
right?
I don't smoke street weed. I smoke medical weed, and you know it has
What's
to
what's
be.
the difference between medical weed and
Medical
street
weed is sold out of a dispensary, out of a store where you have to buy it and have to have a license and have to be cleared by a doctor to buy this
but more
product.
so on
Shout
the
to
feeling
Club
of
Kush.
it. What's the feeling? Does it?
It stimulates you and it gives you a feeling of you're in the hospital in the operating room and the doctor sedated you.
Talk to
Ooh,
him. Talk to him.
nice. Sounds smooth.
Oh,
What do you think
man.
about the whole new agenda where they're pushing weed to become legal?
You know what?
They're gonna tax that shit. You know that,
But who cares? Because
Me?
they tax alcohol.
right?
They tax cigarettes. All this the alcohol. What is it called? The ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
And weed now.
The
FW.
ATFW.
Yup,
Thank you.
ATFW.
Thank you, brother.
Baby, I need you to give the ladies, the bitches, the hoes, whatever. Give us some advice, man. It's hard out there. You married 12, 15,000 years. Everybody want to sign papers. Niggas is wifing up stripper chicks. Like,
I'm
it's
saying.
crazy. What do you tell
You know what?
the,
I'm gonna
the
tell
ladies?
you, the real ladies like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The real ladies like yourself don't have to go looking. It's gonna come to you, and when it's sent from up above, it's gonna be real love. So don't ever even worry about if you're gonna get old, if you gain weight, if you're gonna do this. If it's meant for you to be in love, you're gonna find love, and you don't have to look for it. It's gonna find you. And see, what a lot of people like to do, they like to look at TV and think it's a fairy tale. You know, everything you see on TV ain't what it is. You know, me and my wife, we do argue. We do have situations where it don't always work out, where we don't see eye to eye. But you don't get a chance to see that because we keep it all in the closet and we make sure that whenever we out in the public, we representing this family thing. When you get with somebody and you love them and they love you back, you got to stand for something. Now, if you just fucking around with somebody, no one understand that's what you're doing. This is what I'm in it for. This is what I do. But as a real woman, you should want to have some class about yourself. One thing about me that made me love my wife, she made me wait a whole year and a half before I could even touch her.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. And see, that what built respect for me. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
where no matter what, I always think of that in the back of my head whenever I'm like, if I see a fine girl, if I'm like, damn, it ain't really worth it.